Hello everybody and welcome to my Dragon Age Inquisition Let's Play. This is any given game. When we last left off, we had just formed the Inquisition, and now we're in Haven. And the very first thing I want to do is go ahead and do my abilities here. This is the first one I want to get. Because this is a very important one to get if you're a rogue. Because otherwise, all the enemies will just come after you. They still do, but now they're less likely to even notice you. Yeah, let's get that. Okay. Then after that, we're going to start spending points in the archery tree. Let's head over here. Alright, let's just go ahead and go inside. We'll talk to everybody later.
Does it trouble you?
Not really.
What's important is that your mark is now stable, as is the breach. You've given us time, and Solas believes a second attempt might succeed, provided the mark has more power. The same level of power used to open the breach in the first place. That is not easy to come by.
Clearly you have something in mind.
We do. You've met Commander Cullen, leader of the Inquisition's forces.
It was only for a moment on the field. I'm pleased you survived.
This is Lady Josephine Montelier, our ambassador and chief diplomat.
I've heard much. It's a pleasure to meet you at last.
And of course, you know Sister Liliana.
My position here involves a degree of...
She is our spy master.
Yes, tactfully put, Cassandra.
Cassandra tells me you have a plan.
I mentioned that your mark needs more power to close the breach for good.
Which means we must approach the rebel mages for help.
And I still disagree. The Templars could serve just as well.
We need power, Commander. Enough magic poured into that mark.
Might destroy us all. Templars could suppress the breach, weaken it, so...
Pure speculation.
I was a Templar. I know what they're capable of.
Unfortunately, neither group will even speak to us yet. The Chantry has denounced the Inquisition, and you specifically.
That didn't take long.
Shouldn't they be busy arguing over who's going to become divine?
Some are calling you, a dwarf, the Herald of Andraste. That frightens the Chantry. The remaining clerics have declared it blasphemy, and we, heretics, for harboring you.
Chancellor Roderick's doing, no doubt.
It limits our options. Approaching the mages or Templars for help is currently out of the question.
Just how am I the Herald of Andraste?
People saw what you did at the temple, how you stopped the breach from growing. They have also heard about the woman seen in the rift when we first found you. They believe that was Andraste.
Even if we tried to stop that view from spreading.
Which we have not.
The point is, everyone is talking about you.
It's quite the title, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
I'm not sure how I should feel.
The Chantry has decided that for you, it seems.
People are desperate for a sign of hope. For some, you're that sign. And to others, a symbol of everything that's gone wrong.
They aren't more concerned about the breach? The real threat?
They do know it's a threat, they just don't think we can stop it.
The Chantry is telling everyone you'll make it worse.
There is something you can do. A Chantry cleric by the name of Mother Giselle has asked to speak to you. She is not far and knows those involved far better than I. Her assistance could be invaluable.
Why would someone from the Chantry help a declared heretic?
I understand she's a reasonable sort. Perhaps she does not agree with her sisters. You will find Mother Giselle tending to the wounded in the hinterlands near Redcliffe.
Look for other opportunities to expand the Inquisition's influence while you're there.
We need agents to extend our reach beyond this valley, and you're better suited than anyone to recruit them.
In the meantime, let's think of other options. I won't leave this all to the Herald.
Alright, this is the war table. It has some of the funniest moments in the game. I'm not even kidding. Some of these messages are hilarious. First thing we want to do is gain access to the hinterlands. Y'all can read this if you want. No, we're not gonna go just yet. Alright, this is one that's very interesting because it's particular to my origin as a dwarf. Each of the different origins has a different background story. Like the dwarf was part of the Carta, the elf, mage, and warrior and rogue were all part of a Dalish clan. The humans are nobility, and the human mages are nobles who grew up in a circle. So they're slightly different. They're pretty similar, but slightly different. And then the Kunari were mercenaries, which is very interesting. Let's see, who do we want to send? They all handle each situation a little bit differently. Colin's suggestion usually involves violence. Leliana's is usually let's assassinate that person, or let's trick them into sorry, I can't talk. And Josephine's is usually let's negotiate, or let's pay them off. What does she say? We can't openly negotiate with Carta, but we might get Orzamar's ambassador to do so on our behalf. That could be interesting. Let's send Cullen for that.
To work?
See how that goes. Okay, this one I definitely want to use Josephine for, because hers is the only method that I agree with as far as this goes. This is, a guy wants us to kick refugees off of his lands, and they're like not even bothering him or his people. They're just hiding out in the woods or something. And he wants us to kick them off his land. And Josephine is the only one who's like, tell him to fuck off.
Let us begin.
She does it much more politely than I do, though. And this is the turn of High Ever. He's sending a message. They're holding like a, what is it? A vigil for her. And for those of you who played Origins, you might know him. He is the brother of the human noble origin story, Fergus.
Let's see what we have.
Okay, that's enough of the war table. Let's back out real quick. Alright, now before I do anything else, I want to give her the bow of the dragon and the medium armor of the dragon. And this armor and weapon are very good for early game, even though I don't like the way it looks on her. For some reason, most of the outfits look really awful on dwarves. There's only 2 outfits that I can think of that are actually made for dwarves, and they both look really great on dwarven figures, but I can't find the schematics for them. So as I level up, I get too high a level for those outfits, and I have to get rid of them and put on something that doesn't look as good. And I know it's not all about looking good, it's about stats and all that, but whatever, I want her to look cute.
The Inquisition cannot remain, Ambassador, if you can't prove it was founded on Justinian's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked her life to slow the magic of the breach. Mistress Kadash, this is the Marquis Durelion, one of Divine Justinia's greatest supporters.
And the rightful owner of Haven. House Durelion lent Justinia these lands for pilgrimage. This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
You'll get used to seeing these people with masks. They're from Orlais, which is a country that we'll be dealing with a little bit later. But they are so annoying. You'll see what I mean once we... there's this part where you have to go to a ball, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. It's awful. They're just horrible people. It's just ridiculous how horrible these people are.
This is the first I've heard of Haven having an owner outside the Chantry.
My wife, Lady Machin of Denner, has claimed to Haven by ancient treaty with the monarchs of Ferelden. We were honored to lend its use to Divine Justinia. She was a woman of supreme merit.
I will not let an upstart order remain on her holy grounds.
Interesting, considering the Inquisition was begun by the left and right hands of the Divine.
I've seen no written records from Sister Liliana or Seeker Penticus that Justinia approved the Inquisition.
If you won't take her at her word, I'm afraid Seeker Pentagast must challenge him to a duel.
What?
It is a matter of honor among the Navarrans. Shall I arrange the bout for tonight?
No, no. Perhaps my reaction to the Inquisition's presence was somewhat hasty.
We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact, trust us to forge new alliances to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
I'll think on it, Lady Montillier. The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
Do the Durellians actually have a claim on this place?
His Grace's position is not so strong as he presents it. Despite our Ferelden relations, the Durelions are our legion. If the Marquis wishes to claim Haven, Empress Selene must negotiate with the Ferelden on his behalf. Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
I'm considering romancing Josephine with this character. You guys let me know who you want me to romance. I'm sort of alternating between either Josephine or Blackwall. I'm not sure who I'm gonna go with. But y'all let me know. You might be able to sway me one way or the other.
His Grace was all bluster then.
Even should he leave, the Marquis will share his thoughts on us upon his return to Val Royeaux. Every guest we receive, and we will receive them, will spread the Inquisition's story. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
May I ask what brought you to work for the Inquisition?
Sister Leliana approached me. We've been acquainted for quite some time. For better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has become as interesting as she promised.
What sort of dealings have you had with nobility?
For some years, I was the royally appointed court ambassador from Antiva to Orlais. The nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with, I know through reputation.
I'm glad for your help. I have a feeling the Inquisition's going to need it.
I do believe you are correct. Thedas's politics have become agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths. But please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done.
Wow, this is a long one.
You're the Herald. Or, well, the one they're calling the Herald, anyway. I hope the Inquisition can restore order soon. I never really wanted to leave the Circle. My name is Maeve. I research demons and other creatures. Seeker Pentagast and I use what I find to help the soldiers fight them.
You said Cassandra has you researching creatures.
Yes. If you find anything interesting in your travels, I'd appreciate you bringing it to me. I may be able to find some weakness our soldiers can exploit when fighting various creatures. At the least, some materials are useful for making potions or gear for the Inquisition.
You said you were a mage.
No, just an apprentice. I was never very good at magic. I've got just enough talent to be a danger to other people. But when the mages rebelled, people like me had nowhere to go. The Templars would have killed us. Luckily, Seeker Pentagast took me in, along with the Tranquil I was protecting.
I'm surprised that even an apprentice mage wouldn't join the rebellion.
I don't like using magic to fight. I'm not good at it either. I like studying,
I liked performing rituals that helped us unlock the secrets of the Veil. I liked having the Templars around to keep us safe.
Most Circle mages I've met have a different opinion of the Templars.
They have not lived my life. I was born into a Dalish clan. I lived there until my magic manifested. The Dalish cannot risk having too many mages in one clan. And I was one more than they could bear. They gave me a pack and sent me into the woods to find my own life. I was 7 years old.
I'm so sorry.
I stumbled into a village, starving and cold a few weeks later. I started using magic to scare predators away. The villagers saw me make fire in my fist. They were terrified and wanted to kill me. Templars saved me from them. They gave me food and clothes and took me to the Circle. I've seen what life is like without the Templars, and I want no part of it. I just want to study.
You said that you were keeping some of the Tranquils safe?
Yes. The mages took some of them when my Circle rebelled, but the rest were forgotten. Most Circle mages look down on the Tranquil, or try to pretend they don't exist. They don't have any emotions. They can barely take care of themselves, can't defend themselves at all. It's a shame. I like them better than most people.
I'm glad they have someone who cares about them.
They deserve better. They're polite, they're rational, and they'll never get angry at you. When they study, they have a focus no normal person could ever match. But the Templars, even some of the mages, mistreated them just because they could. The Tranquil never fought back. If not for that, I don't know. Doesn't really matter now.
Why did you decide to research dangerous creatures?
I like the outdoors. The idea of the outdoors, anyway. When some monster is coming at you, glowing eyes and burning claws, it's terrifying. But once you know how it works, you can deal with it. It's just another part of the world. So much of this world is only frightening because we don't understand it.
I'll speak with you later.
Travel safely.
I don't think I have anything. Nope, I don't.
If you find anything, please bring it in.
I don't know. Where are we gonna go next? Let's go talk to some people.
Speak only the word. Sing only the chant.
Leliana's over here by this tent. Let's go say hi to her.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing? You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
Awful things happen every day. Get used to it.
Get used to being a pawn? To be discarded when the Maker's done with you? The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
Maybe you should be angry at the people who murdered her.
If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
I'm not really the best person to talk to. Doesn't the Chantry have people for this?
So I should let a priest comfort me? No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come, to work then. We will speak later.
And then there's a Inquisition scout that's supposed to be running by, but sometimes he's late. Oh, there he is. I'll go talk to Thren over here first.
If you've got lyrium to sell, Commander Cullen is handling all purchases. Oh, you're her. Thren, Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
She has a very interesting hat.
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site, maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
Farewell.
Make a go with you.
Alright. I'll work on that weapons thing in a second. Let's go talk to Solus. And the apothecary is up here also. Let's go to Solus first, because sometimes he disappears.
The chosen of Andraste, a blessed hero sent to save us all.
Sometimes talking to Solus is kind of an ordeal in and of itself, because he slightly approves every single time you ask him about the Fade and about his work with the Fade, and he just goes on and on and on, and it's just kind of exhausting, and I'm not gonna put you poor people through that. So, if it gets to that point, I'll probably cut it out, because it's ridiculous.
Am I riding in on a shining steed?
I would have suggested a griffon, but sadly they're extinct. Joke as you will, posturing is necessary. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
He's also a dramatic little shit.
What do you mean, ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins? Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I imagine you find some amazing things in there, alongside all the demons.
Exactly. It is occasionally dangerous, yes, but more often it's just sad to see what has been lost. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay then, at least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of a mage rebellion. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
Cassandra trusts you. She won't let anyone put you into a circle against your will.
Thank you. I appreciate the thought. But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
Okay, I'll go talk to him after I'm done with this off camera, so that I can get all the approval points without boring you guys to death. This guy's cool though. I like Adden.
Look who's back from the dead. Again.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
It has been a rough few days.
That's an understatement. And more ahead if the weather is any indication. Name's Zidane. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too. You're back. And in one piece.
I haven't left.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
Farewell.
Alright, do I have regeneration? I do! I love the regeneration potion. I use it constantly. This is why you need elf fruit. I'll only give her 2 because she's a rogue. She doesn't need that many. This is Cassandra. She needs quite a few. Let's go ahead and give her 5. Solus doesn't need any. Varric. Let's give him 2, and then I'll give the last one to her. There. I love the regeneration potion.
Let me know if you need anything.
Okay, we are... Oh, see, look, what did I tell you? Solus disappeared. And why did I just jump? But yeah, Solus is gone. He does that sometimes. I think he's still here. I just can't see him. No, he's gone. Oh, there he is. Is there anything in here? No. What was I about to say before I started talking about Solus? Oh yeah, I'm gonna end this part as soon as I read this. The Randy Dowager. Okay, now I'm gonna end this, and I will see you guys next time.